1. All right, what is good, everybody, and welcome back to Team COG, guys. I'm bringing you guys as a Morphtronic deck profile today. So I've been playing this deck a lot on my stream, which this is what we're recording on right now. We're live on Twitch as we speak, so head on over to twitch.tv/team_COG. Give me a follow, give me a sub if you want to. But anyway, I've been having a lot of fun with this deck, and this deck is actually really insane. A lot of people on chat can vouch for it. Tonight was not a good night for it, just because it just seemed like I bricked quite a bit, and that's liable to happen in the deck. It's a 40-card deck. You play 21 spells and 19 monsters, so you're almost 50-50 on that split. But anyway, I want to go ahead and show you guys the profile and talk to you guys about some changes and stuff I'll change in the future in the main and in the extra. So we'll just go ahead and quickly jump on into it, just to breeze through it. And then if you guys want a more in-depth profile, in-depth test hands and in-depth combos, comment down below, let me know. But to quickly jump on here, guys, we are playing 3 Telephon. Telephon is what literally makes this deck even viable to play as a rogue contender for your locals, or maybe even higher than that. This is also what makes the FTK variant go, but we don't talk about the FTK here. This card is not a once per turn. You think that they would probably do that, right? They'd make it a once per turn, like hard once per turn, but they didn't. You just roll a die, gain that life special summon equal to the, like, whatever number you roll on the die, equal to that level or lower, so you just get to infinitely loop. And yes, you can loop itself. It's insane. You can just sometimes use the defense effect, not really much, but this is like the main combo enabler. This card right here is what allows you to like go ham in the deck, really. What lets you like play so well. Moving on, we are on to 3 cell phones. This OG card, I do plan to upgrade this card's rarity very soon, since I have found I really enjoy this deck. It reminds me of Infernobles, except for like the deck doesn't have like a singular choke point like in the form of Hulk and or like a Rorodon. Even though there are some hands that, like, you know, Inperm, Ash, Valor on like the Gadget Gamer or like Cell Phone can just like end your turn, but that's YuGiOh, right? But Cell Phone, if you guys don't know what it is, since it is an old card, roll a die, excavate that many cards, special summon 1 level 4 lower Morphtronic monster, ignoring its summoning conditions from your deck. You can like machine dupe this. You can like machine dupe the Morphtronic Telephone. Like, there's a lot of machine dupe targets as well. But you just want to start looping these cards, start digging from your deck, and start doing that. Just like I had Emancipators, you can whiff, and whiffing does suck. But I mean, like that's like the RNG factor of the deck, right? You can whiff, and then sometimes you can't, and then sometimes you get lucky. You roll a 1, and you hit like Telephone on the 1, and you're just off to the races. This card right here, Smartphone, is probably the third best card in the entire deck. Outside of the Telephone and the new stuff from the new set, this card came out in Secrets of Eternities. You just banish a Morphtronic and special summon it from the hand. It's an inherent summon. You roll a die, then you excavate and add a Morphtronic card. It's pretty good. If you guys haven't noticed, though, this is a tuner and Telephone's a tuner. That would be another issue with the deck, I would say it really has, is the lack of non-tuners. But anyway, card's really good for extending, beaming out with Cell Phone and stuff like that. It's just really good, in my opinion. Almost every card in this deck is kind of good, really good, because it's not a hard once per turn. Moving on to Remoten. Remoten's kind of the Rhoda of the deck. You banish a Morphtronic in your graveyard, then you add a Morphtronic with the same level. And you can, of course, if you banish like a Smartphone, you can add a Smartphone. So it's really good in that scenario. Same with like Cell Phone. You banish a Cell Phone, you can add a Cell Phone. You can add the same name you banish, but mostly it just allows you to get access to whatever one of these you're missing. And it's really good for allowing you to like do step stones. This deck has a lot of stepping stones in a way. You have a lot of link step stones and then also a lot of synchro step stones to get up into, because since they're all such a low level, you got to like make high level monsters. So the way you do that is by step stoning and stuff like that. But this card is normally what you summon out with Hulk, though. However, I mean, like sometimes like you want to summon out it by it like with like Telephone or something like that, just so you get like the level 3 tuner out. But anyway, moving on here for Scopin. Scopin was borderline busted. This card's effect is if it's an attack position, you can special summon a level 4, exactly level 4 Morphtronic from your hand. And I don't know why Konami did that. I can't fathom the reason why. It should level 4 or lower, but it didn't. So this card's just used for its tuner ability. It also has an interesting like scenario with Hulk. Hulk negates activating effects of the tuners it summoned, but you summon out Scopin in defense. Scopin's continuous effect says that you just get to it gets to become a level 4, so you get to beam out a level 4 tuner directly from the deck, which is really cool. And it also allows us you do that in lines where you want to make the one card Natura Beast, because like this and Cell Phone make Natura Beast, as long as in defense, of course. One Scannon. This card is also new, but it's definitely it's good as a one-of. You search it off a Cupid pitch when you go down like Cupid pitch lines, and then it allows you to search a Morphtronic spell when it's in attack, and then if it's in defense, you can recur from the grave. So it gives you a little bit of recursion. It's a level 6 tuner, and if you guys have not noticed, the only non-tuner that we have so far is Selfon. So like that's where you kind of get into an issue. But anyway, Scannon, really good. Good for the search and kind of good to continue. Like in some hands, Scannon is what allows you to play, right? Because you just have to like summon this, because Scannon can be converted out. So like you just put Scannon, get to Selfon and stuff like that. It's all right. You don't like the banish from the hand effect. You got to banish a Morphtronic monster from your hand in order to summon it. But I mean, it is what it is. But anyway, on to the best starter in the entire deck is 3 Gadget Gamer and 1 Gadget Hauler. This is probably the most brickiest card in your deck, to be honest with you. You never want to see this card, but Gadget Gamer is such a phenomenal card that it does everything the deck wants, that even if you open the Hauler, you still can summon it. Like, Gadget Gamer is insane. On summon, add a level 1 Morphtronic card. Tribute itself to special summon the Morphtronic card from hand and the Gadget Hauler from hand or deck. So it allows you to play through opening the Hauler. And Hauler's okay in some instances because it is the big name that lets us like climb. The only issue is if you see it, you have to get it out with Gamer, otherwise you're not getting this card out. And it's our Win to Beat over, or Win to Beat stick in a way, because like you normal summon Gamer, use the effect to add, then you can special this out, and then if you have Morphtronic cards in your hand, you pitch them to give this guy 800 attack times the number you pitch. So it allows you to beat over Winda. But yep, that is it for those guys. And then this card right here, I'm not sold on. I might play something else. I don't know. Maybe another Morphtronic name. But one of the Gizmek, Naki, the Sunrise Signaler. This card is just a 4th copy of both Cell Phone and Telephone. It loses hard to Ash, and there's no way for you to be able to like machine dupe, converter it, and stuff like that. So it's just it's not that good. Every hand I've had it in, it's not been too great. So I probably will cut it for like another name in a way, or maybe just another extender, like another junk box or something like that. I don't know yet, but in theory it's good, but it just hard loses to Ash Blossom. And like I know the argument will be like not a lot of people are playing hand traps, but it also loses to like normal summon effect, you activate effect, then someone has an Omni Negate, you know, something like that. So, but anyway, on to the spells. Like I said, that is 19 monsters right here. We'll move on to the 21 spells. 3 Morphtronic Converter. This card is decent, not gonna lie. However, I definitely would recommend cutting it down to 2. Playing 3 is too many. This deck somehow like you'll brick, and I found the ways that you brick is you either open all spells, and then like some of your worst hands will be opening all monsters. But this card lets you tag out. So essentially, if you have an attack position Morphtronic monster, you get to special summon a different Morphtronic from your deck with a different name, summon it, and then put the targeted Morphtronic to the top of the deck. If you have a Morphtronic in defense, you can special summon a Morphtronic from your hand, which is never come up, but it is a cool effect to get like a different Morphtronics out of your hand. But this card is really insane. It turns like if you sell a Telephone, right? Telephone and Converter is combo. Because Telephone doesn't do nothing by itself, but Telephone and Converter does, because you get to summon out Cell Phone. Cell Phone is no matter what you roll is going to hit the Telephone, then you just start cycling from there, which is really crazy. And then we'll just go ahead and go on to the 2 junk box. This card is a Morphtronic Monster Reborn, but does not have Morphtronic in the name. Shame on you, Konami. I would probably cut Converter to 2 and play 3 junk box, because like you want to have like those Reborn spells to play through Disruption, but not too shabby. 3 Repair Unit and 1 Different Dimension Reincarnation. So I do want to play another equip spell, so it'd be like 5 equip spells, so it makes Braver better. The logic behind this list right now is I wouldn't make Braver without stepping into Earphone, and Earphone is the synchro that equips from the graveyard, so like I wouldn't make Braver without having that. However, I have found myself in some lines where I just need an equip from the deck to be able to fetch off of the Braver, so I want to put in like Metal Silver Armor or like that fancy ultra rare sword that says it can't be targeted. But you play this ratio here because this card is another Monster Reborn, and this card is just like another Monster Reborn, and you can make like this card, you can make DDR live by resolving Smartphone, because you can just banish, right? And also Remote and banishes. So it's just like another pseudo extender. If you open like 1 repair unit and you go like, you have to go like power tool lines, you can like have 3 to reveal. The only bad thing with repair unit is in order to special summon from the graveyard, you have to have a Morphtronic monster in your hand. That is literally the downside with it. With that being said, though, this card is so old that literally you pitch, and you can pitch and summon back the target you pitch, because like you pitch, the pitch is cost. So if you open like Telephone and you get to go combo, and then like they stop you somewhere, you can go like repair unit, pitch Telephone, bring out Telephone that you just pitched, and then combo to continue comboing. which is really cool. Moving on to the busted one-ofs of the deck. Like, every one-of in the deck is, like, insane. Minus Hauler. Hauler is just mediocre. But other than that, we play 1 Foolish Burial. That allows you to combo with Telephone. 1 for 1. Why wouldn't you play it? Call by the Grave, a God card, and Monster Reborn. These cards are insane. Not much more to say there. There's not really much to say about these. Moving on, we are on to triple Dark Ruler No More. I am not playing any hand traps, and I don't know how I feel about that. I would much rather play like Imperm, I guess. I play this as a board breaker because this deck really struggles going second. However, I'd almost rather play Imperm. But however, again, same argument, right, guys? Is that Dark Ruler just does so much going second. But I don't know. Anyway, 3 Machine Dupe. This card is literally insane. You actually have a combo line where if you just open Machine Dupe plus Telephone, and you get access to no other, card. So, like, it's quite insane, to be honest with you. And the card can also you can also beam out Cell Phone with duplication. Like, it's just, this card's just so powerful. For the final 2 spells, we're on to 2 triple attacks. This deck can eat a lot of hand traps, but we need to have sometimes, like, if you guys have not seen any of the games or, like, not been on Twitch, there've been a few times I've got hand trapped and then, like, my hand's so good, or I just roll so godly that, like, Triple T look at their hand, rip a starter, rip another hand trap, whatever. But tonight when I tested with this, Triple T was just trying to draw me cards because I was fighting for my life, or I was bricking on it. Not gonna lie, but two Triple Ts I think is mandatory in this deck, just because, like, as you guys can see, like, you need to draw starters and extenders, and the extenders you can draw is very limited in a way, or, like, your extenders are very limited and very specific. Like, repair unit's an extender only if you have a monster. So, like, if you open repair unit but your combo gets stopped and you have no monster in hand, you want to use that Triple T to draw 2 to get that extender, and versus looking at the opponent's hand. But that is it for the main deck. I will jump on over here into the extra deck and show you guys my extra deck. Like I said, the deck is like Stepstone dot deck because you have to step up so many ways. And there are a few changes that are coming in the future, but the immediate changes I'll make, I'll talk about. But starting from the lowest synchro, we'll just go ahead and go. Formula Synchron, you play level 1s, level 2s, pick up a card, tag out for Hulk if you get really stopped. Herald of the Arclight, simply because if you end up very early on, if you end up, you can end up making this by going Self-On, then hitting your Scope-In or your Remote-In, and then, like, if you open, like, the correct extender afterwards or something like that, you have the ability. Even, like, Self-On plus the Converter. Self-On, hit any of those level 3s, then you can Converter out the, what was I thinking? I lost my train of thought. It has a lot of iterations to be able to make Herald before your 5th summon, before you make Hulk and stuff like that. So it's just insane. And it's also a floodgate, so, like, if you can end on it sometimes, you just have the ability to stop, like, the blowout card, like Forbidden Droplets. So you force them to have spell and traps in a way. Moving on for Cupid Pitch. This card comes up a little, not as often now, but it'll come up a lot later when we get the new support. But this card lets us make level 8 synchros. We make it very easy with, like, again, Self-On plus any level 3. And then it becomes level 7, which allows us to make our level 8 synchro, such as Savage, and Savage. And then when we get the new SL Stardust card, it'll let us make that while searching Scannon, and that's really good because sometimes, like, we can use the Scannon to summon itself out, but sometimes we're also using Scannon to be the monster in hand to pitch off of the repair unit. Earphone, this card is actually one of the major stepping stones. It allows you to on-summon target a monster other than itself. It becomes a tuner, irrelevant, but it allows you to step up into, like, your Naturia Beast, sometimes your, like, higher synchro plays, and then it has a graveyard effect that it can equip to equip to a monster, and it can attack twice, but you're mostly using it to equip to Power Tool Braver Dragon to give it a live negate. So really cool card. Moving on, 1 Nat Beast. The card is insane. Like, this deck can almost, I literally said it in the stream. I was like, this deck can bare minimum make Nat Beast, and then I continue to, like, literally brick on spells. So lesson learned. But anyway, this card is really, you make this card, you're almost winning. It puts the opponent on to, like, better draw good. But you're mostly, and it's usually you want to end on Nat Beast plus, like, an Omni Negation in the form of Savage to be able to protect from those frame 1 imperms coming down. Dragster, definitely cutting this card, never made it. Power Tool, you definitely want to play this for Power Tool lines. You definitely have those lines to be able to search out the searchable extender. And also level 7 body that's like a non-tuner, etc. For the man, the myth himself, Power to a Braver Dragon. This card's actually bonkers. It allows you to protect so many things. By having a quick effect in perm, and then like if they decide to like try and beat over like Herald, or if they try to beat over Nat Beast, the other ability it has is to be able to like switch something to defense, which I think I have the card over here. I'll see if I can show it to you. Has made me want to try and test out playing this as my life extreme for my equip spell, because this says when a monster changes battle position, you can pop a card. So then it turns like those scenarios of you like having to use Braver's effect to switch a monster's battle position and not getting the negate to be in like a Trident, which is really cool. But it's a crazy card. It should have had higher attack, and I don't believe it should have been a 9. I believe it should have been an 8, because like Power Tool's 7, so it makes sense to go 7, 8 instead of going 7, 8, 9. But Konami knows what they're doing, I guess. Continuing on though with the synchros, Borreload Savage, Crystal Wing, and Satellite Warrior. Savage, you make quite a bit. Crystal Wing, there are some lines when you open Gadget Gamer that you can make Crystal Wing before your commit to your Hulk or before your 5th, but I very seldom have come up making this. This is probably what I'm going to end up cutting for a card called Platinum Gadget. Platinum Gadget lets you special from the hand. It allows you to play through disruptions. It allows you to play through like monster heavy hands. And I do believe, don't quote me on it, I don't have the card in front of me, but I think it just takes 2 machine monsters. So like if your Hulk gets interrupted, you can, if you have another body on the field, you can turn Hulk and the body into it and then special summon like a Telephone from hand and then like keep comboing. But Satellite Warrior is my budget Baron, and I've actually kind of missed Baron just because like, not because of what it does, but because of its generic ability. Satellite Warrior sadly requires 1 tuner plus one more non-tuner synchro monsters. So like Baron just being like so generic is really good. So probably if I ever get a hold of a Baron, it'll probably replace Satellite Warrior right away. Moving on to the links, we are on to 1 Link Kribo, 1 Hulk, and 1 Apollosa. We make a very big Apollosa constantly. Hulk, though, I don't know how much its time is limited, but maybe it'll stay around, maybe it won't. I don't know. Link Kribo, though, this card is insane. It allows us to like loop cards a lot more, and also take note that Selphon, almost any of your level 1s, if you activate the effect and then they try to hand trap it with like something that targets and negates, like Imperm, Effect Veiler, any monster that targets and negates, you can chain Link Kribo to that, and then you'll summon Link Kribo and still resolve whatever Morphtronic you're trying to resolve. Cool little interactions there that can allow you to like steal games. But that is it for the links. Like I said, I'd probably play the Platinum Gadget, which I actually won't probably. I will be playing it. So anyway, moving on to the Lyrilisk. Ensemble Robin. This, if you guys did not know, which I will show you, level 1, level 1, level 1. That's it. That's it. As I was like, I'll show you guys level 1. You play like 9 level 1s, and since you can actually recycle, or like Telephone can bring back Telephone at the end of your combo, if you're able to reborn a Telephone and you have 2 more engraved, you're just going to be able to Telephone into Telephone. And then you can make a 3 material Robin, which Robin's actually really cool. Robin is insane for what it does. But then you can just like Robin for 3, and then you have like Apollosa, Savage, and Nat Beast, or Apollosa, Nat Beast, and Braver Dragon with this card. And like against a lot of those Cyverse decks, like Salads, Ignister, Mathmech. Mathmech not so much, but Mathmech can fall in that category. Marine Cess, that are kind of rogue at the moment. Robin just completely craps on them, because like as soon as they special summon their first link, you just bounce it back. And since this is not a once per turn too, so like if they have the extender to play through it, you just bounce it back again. And most normally bouncing back twice, that just wraps it up. But anyway, guys, that is it for the deck profile. If you guys enjoyed this, please give me a like and a subscribe here on YouTube. And think about becoming a member if you want to. If you guys want to see combos by any chance, comment down below and I'll make a combo video. The combos are very loose in the sense of they're very free-floating, free-forming, because it's just whatever you mill. But I would definitely show you guys some very, like, as far as I can combo lines. You guys just got to ask. But again, guys, I think this deck is, like, literally insane. I think, like, it's definitely worth looking into, definitely worth respecting. But there are some major RNG factors which could turn people away from it. I know a lot of people stepped away from Emancipator because of the Excavate 5. And sometimes you'd miss, and that'd be like the end of your turn. It's the name of the game, right? So like, the deck's insanely fun. You either can blow up. I posted a picture on the community thing showing like one of the inboards the deck can do. You either blow up or you just like pass on like getting hit. But like that's like Yu-Gi-Oh, right, guys? That's really what Yu-Gi-Oh is. It's sometimes you go off, sometimes you don't. But it do be what it do be. But please remember, guys, most importantly for you guys to stay safe, stay healthy. This is Charles from Team COG. signing out.